And then finally, we got to the only thing on this program that I actually wanted to see ahead of time, or actually wanted to see when I found out it was happening. Gunther and Gable for the Intercontinental title. And God again, somebody named Williams needs to be involved in this. I cannot. I was programmed that Williams comes after Gunther and Gable in my childhood, and I can't avoid it. So, besides the restrictions slash handicaps slash stumbling blocks that the WWE puts in the way of a good television match, such as going to break after a minute and a half and then coming back and going to break after about 4 minutes. So you can't fucking really involve yourself in the thing. I'm not going to give you a blow by blow. This was an excellent match. And Gunther, again, never has a bad match, never does anything he shouldn't do. His style is perfect for his look. His look is perfect for his style. His basics, his timing, his technique, for me, are a pleasure to watch because it's so rare and unusual anymore that somebody actually works and looks and acts and moves like a professional wrestler. And he doesn't. I don't know how he manages not to ever get any on him. But he never looks stupid except when he is doing it to himself in the way of a heel being foiled by a babyface, but he never looks like he's in a stupid position he shouldn't be in. And they put everybody else in one of those from time to time, but he can take care of himself. And Gable, athletically, physically, his work, he's a feisty fighter. Whereas Gunther was stronger and meaner. Gable has fire and emotion. And he's a good selling baby face. And he knows because he's smaller, he's got to sell the stuff a little bit bigger, but then he's got to use his speed and quickness and, perspicacity. And so they just had a great match, and they saved not only saved the big stuff for toward the end, but they made the big stuff plausible. And they got pops from the people going into it. Everybody's on Gable's side, but nobody thought that he was going to win. By the time they got pretty deep into this and going into false finishes, you could tell from the people the way they were reacting, they were starting to buy, you know what, they might do this. They were with it. And they were fluid in what they were doing when Gable gave Gunther a German suplex on the floor. And then grabbed him and as best he could, rolled him in to beat the count so he could try to win. But when he rolled right in, Gunther was coming up and he rolled right into a power bomb of Gunther's and got a big pop. And Gable again managed to, and in a plausible way, hit the superplex off the top and then the big headbutt and a 2 count. And then he goes to the ankle lock and the fans are going batshit. And they go back and forth, and then again, Gunther, even after he's lost weight, got to weigh 250, right? Because he's so tall, 240. Gable is Germaning him with a bridge, and he's doing it as a deadlift. He's amazing, and he's getting big pops on these things. And then they did a slick little thing where Gable goes for the moonsault off the top, but Gunther raised his boot. And Gable landed and caught him in an ankle lock. And then by now, Gunther's really fucking selling. And he's fucking, you see it on his face, and the people are up. Will he tap? But no, Gunther kicked out and got sleeper. But Chad rolled him up backwards, but then Gunther suplexed him on his head. And safely, by the way. I watched the replay, and he had him trapped, and he had a hold of him. He didn't drop him on his head. It looked like it. And then a power bomb and a big fucking clothesline worthy of Bradshaw. And 1, 2, 3. It was a super match. It was plausible the way they did it, even with the size difference. Everybody's work was right where it should be. And then they have Gable's family.
The next shot. That's the thing. The next shot
Yes.
after he lost was his daughter crying in the crowd.
Yes, his mother wasn't there laughing, waiting for her spot. His kids were crying at ringside. There's a difference. So that, again, is exactly, I still hate everything about the way that Gable's being presented with the partner and the girl and the shoosh and the thank you. But the people are liking him because he's a feisty, spunky underdog that you can get with when he's in there selling for a big fucking monster like this. And Gunther is, as I've said, maybe the world's most perfect wrestler today.
Not named Rhea Ripley, maybe.
Not named Rhea Ripley. And actually, when you think about it, Gunther is more experienced and on every level as far as in-ring than Rhea, so he's probably a better wrestler all around, but at the same time, I don't see he's going to be a movie star, whereas Rhea Ripley will be. But they're very close in their respective fields.
Really, really good stuff. And, it's one of those things that, other than the opening shush for his music when he comes out, there was none of the silliness when people always say, what do you want? You hate everything. I want this. Serious physical matches the fans are actually into that don't get into comedy spots, the usual tropes that everyone does in the middle of their matches, good storytelling. That clothesline at the end looked great.
Keep it in the ring when you can, so when you don't, it means something. Hopefully none of your work looks phony.
They showed his family at the end. His wife looked upset. She was consoling two of the kids. The other kid was sitting next to her crying. Again, big difference than the partying parents we see on fucking AEW Dynamite. It's like they're all ready to participate.
Exactly. They're all in on it. Here we are, ready to go. Come on over here so I can do my spot. And all she had to do, that Gable's wife, was just take that hat pin and just jab that kid in the ass with it.
No, stop it. All she had to do was not tell her daughter that daddy's going to be okay right away. But one day they'll be smart enough.
Same thing, physical torment, mental torment, whatever floats your boat.
No torment at all, and Raw wasn't too tormental this week. Any closing Raw thoughts?
Yeah, I think they should have cooked this one a little longer. I would have sent it back to the kitchen. But I loved Gunther and Gable. And Williams.